rapid access to comprehensive oncology data and survival analysis. This is the OncoToolkit.
Let's get right to it. We're talking palliative survival prediction, a tool that's not just a calculator, but a bridge between your clinical gestalt and hard, data-driven evidence. We all know the drill. Prognostication is one of the most critical things we do, but it's a massive time sink. We're digging through guidelines, running numbers, and even then, study after study shows our own clinical intuition, our Gestalt, tends to be a little too optimistic.
And that's exactly the problem this tool solves. It takes what could be hours of manual work and boils it down to an instant, evidence-based answer you can get right at the point of care.
Okay, but for any tool to be useful in our field, we have to trust it, right? And that trust comes from understanding the science it's built on. So let's take a quick look at the science behind it and the scoring systems this calculator automates for you.
You know, this challenge of being too optimistic has huge implications. It can lead to treatments that are more burdensome than helpful, and it can take away precious time from patients and families who need to prepare. That's why having objective, validated tools is absolutely crucial. It grounds our conversations in reality and helps us guide care with real clarity.
So this app combines two of the heavy hitters in palliative oncology. You've got the PAP Score, which is fantastic for drilling down into the 30-day survival probability using lab work. And then you have the PPI Score, which is designed for a super-fast bedside assessment to tell you if you're looking at weeks versus months. They're different, but they work together perfectly.
Let's dig into the PAP score first. This comes from the work of Pirovano and Maltoni, and it's a validated powerhouse for predicting 30-day survival. What's so smart about it is how it blends your own clinical prediction with objective data points. The patient's Karnofsky performance status, symptoms like dyspnea or anorexia, and of course, those key lab values, the total white blood cell count and lymphocyte percentage.
So the PAP Score crunches those numbers and sorts patients into one of three very clear groups. Group A means there's a high probability, over 70%, of surviving past 30 days. Group B is that intermediate zone, somewhere between 30 and 70%. And Group C, well, that indicates a high probability of mortality, with less than a 30% chance of 30-day survival. Now, on the other hand, we have the PPI, the Palliative Prognostic Index. This one, developed by Marita and his team, is all about speed and practicality. The big deal here is that it's completely lab-free, which makes it perfect for a quick assessment at the bedside. It uses the Palliative Performance Scale and 4 things you can observe right there: oral intake, edema, dyspnea at rest, and delirium. And what the PPI gives you is a really clear timeline. If the score is over 6, you're likely looking at a survival of less than 3 weeks. A score between 4 and 6 puts you in that 3 to 6 week range. And a score of 4 or less suggests survival is likely greater than 6 weeks. It's an incredibly useful way to frame that tough conversation in terms of weeks versus months. All right, so we've got these two incredibly powerful validated scores. Now for the fun part. Let's see how the app brings them both together for an instant, and I mean instant, and totally transparent calculation. So here's the input form. It's all right here on one screen. Super intuitive. You just plug in the performance status, your clinical prediction, a few key symptoms, and the lab values. The whole thing literally takes just a few seconds. You tap Calculate Score and bam, the result is right there. The inputs you see on the left instantly generate this unified results panel on the right. So in this example, the PAP score is 1.5, putting the patient in Group A. That's a greater than 70% chance of 30-day survival. At the exact same time, the PPI score of 3.5 suggests a timeline of likely more than 6 weeks. You get 2 powerful evidence-based viewpoints in a single glance.
Now, this next part is absolutely critical for us as clinicians. We don't believe in black boxes. The math and the reference tables are right there for your review.
And here's how we deliver on that promise. See this logic trace right under each score? It's not some hidden algorithm. It shows you the exact point value given to every single variable you entered and the simple addition that leads to the final score. It completely demystifies the calculation so you can see how it works and trust the result. So this tool is obviously a powerhouse in the clinic, day to day, but its job doesn't end at the bedside. It's also designed to be a seamless bridge, helping you turn your everyday clinical work into valuable, research-grade data. Every single time you run a calculation, you have the option to save it. And over time, without any extra effort, you're building this beautiful, clean, structured data set. So when you're ready to start asking a research question, a single click on Export All to CSV gives you a perfect, flattened file ready for analysis. And that export isn't just sending your data out into the void. It's the first step into the integrated OncoToolkit research ecosystem. The workflow from there is designed to be incredibly smooth. Step 1, you export your data from this calculator. Step 2, you can pop it into the OncoToolkit CSV polisher to get it cleaned and prepped in no time. And step 3, it's ready for some serious analysis.
And that final step is our survival analysis app. You can just import that clean dataset and automatically generate Kaplan-Meier curves, run chi-square and log-rank tests, calculate hazard ratios, the whole 9 yards. You get publication-ready graphics, completing that full circle from a quick clinical decision all the way to a powerful research output. So I'll just leave you with this one thought. When you can make instant, evidence-based clinical calls that are simultaneously building a research database for you in the background, how could that accelerate your next research project?